All right, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about Charlie Kirk and his murder, and we're going to come at it from we're going to try and pretend we are a forensic expert, and we're going to explore different scenarios, and I'm going to be asking the hard questions regarding, again, the shooting of Charlie Kirk. And I don't think you want to miss this. This is Revelation Underground.
Welcome to the stage, it's the tale untold. Shame, the black swan breaking the mold. In a world of chaos, he rises from the fray. With wings spread wide, he's here to slay. Dark shadows lurking, but he won't back down. Black swan revelations, moments alive. Chains break barriers, watch him thrive. In this kingdom of dreams, we're brave there to fly. The black swan's the limit, reach up to the sky. From the ashes he soared, a phoenix reborn. With beats in his heart, he's ready for war. Lyrics like daggers, sharp on the tongue. In the game for the throne, where legends are hung. Echoes of truth ringing loud and clear. Black swan revelations, moments alive. Chains breaking barriers, watching thrive. In this kingdom of dreams, we're the brave dare to fly. Black swan's the limit, reach up to the sky. So welcome to the show. Let the good times roll. With Shane as the black swan, we're free, we're whole.
All right. Let's jump into this. Now, I know there are some people out there, I see it in the comments, like, why are you spending time on this? Why are you spending time on Charlie Kirk? Well, it's because I am interested in why and how Charlie Kirk got murdered, because it could happen again. And I feel like sometimes we're not getting enough information. And so what I thought I would do in this video is just ask some of the questions and just kind of go through it piece by piece. And where am I coming at this from? Well, when I was a youngster, I used to go hunting with my dad. Strangely enough, I used to use a 30-06, which allegedly this is the weapon that was used for Charlie Kirk's murder. And I will tell you something. Let me tell you something. I couldn't hit a barn, a red barn, with that gun. It was hard. It was difficult. I was not a good shot. I'm guessing I probably fired maybe a dozen shots before I went hunting. Maybe. And the recoil from the 30-06, I remember one time I held it out. I thought I almost blew my shoulder out because of the recoil on a 30-06. And that's when I learned, oh, you have to hold the gun against your shoulder to do it properly. I almost got my eye taken out from the scope, because sometimes if you wince or you blink and maybe you're a little bit loosey-goosey, you can actually have that gun come back into your eye and you can have a shiner. It doesn't take much. And there's also another lesson you learn. When you fire a 30-06 the first time, you can't hear anybody after that. You can't. People will be talking to you. How was that? How did that feel and all this? And you're like, sorry, I'm just reading your lips right now. I don't know. I'm deaf right now. And those are just, and then another thing that happens, rookie errors. I'm talking about the first time using a rifle. You shoot at a target, and then what's the first thing you do? You smell the gunshot, you smell the gunpowder, and then you go and pick up the casing, and you're like, ow, that's hot, especially if you pick it up right away. Often what would happen is you'd have to put the gun down, especially if you're in the woods, and you'd have to look for the casing because the casing would fire anywhere from 1 foot to 15 feet. The shell, especially if it's a single bolt action. And I believe the 30-06 that I used was a pump action. You can load it with 2 or 3, like you'd have a clip as well. But I'm telling you, if you're not firing off a lot of rounds, there is no way on earth you're going to be hitting a target at 200 yards, 200 meters on the first shot, unless you start shooting a lot. And what happens if you're shooting a lot is you start to form calluses around your shoulder. You start, your fingers change a little bit. They get a little bit tougher, and you get used to the idea of just doing a gentle squeeze and squeezing it. You flinch less. You wear earplugs. You wear headphones. All kinds of stuff. You might even wear gloves. Don't know. It just depends. But that process of getting better, like I have a bunch of books here. One of them is Outliers. And that's an interesting book by Malcolm Gladwell. Outliers is a whole book about basically how people stand out in their giftings and what makes them different from other people. And a lot of times it's practice, like they're willing to practice more than other people. Like when you look at Wayne Gretzky, using a hockey analogy here because I am a Canadian, that kid would not come inside the house. His dad, Walter, would always be like, come inside. And he'd be like 2, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5, 6 years old on skates. And he would freeze his feet before he would come inside. All the other kids would go back inside, but not Gretzky. And there's something to be said about putting a kid in sports early to give them more reps, more experience. So you have a person like this 22-year-old, right away, you're at a disadvantage by your age. What do I mean by that? I mean, you have to, because you're so young, you have to increase your skills for that gun. You have to double, triple up your time to become an expert. Because unless you are a member of some kind of a organization or a rifle organization, you're not going to be able to have that experience of grabbing your grandfather's gun, a 30-06, putting a shell in it, one shell, going to a rooftop. We didn't even talk about a rooftop, how that is different than firing at a target practice and trying to figure out your grouping. And this kid, we're told by the FBI through text that he took a gun from his grandfather. His dad said he gave it to him as a gift, but now we get text saying that he stole that gun from his grandfather, and he was worried to give it back to him, what he was going to say. And then he took a bullet with him, went up onto a rooftop with a rifle. And let me tell you something. A 30-06 is not easy, nor is it designed to be taken apart. You can take it apart to clean it, but that's not how you transport it. You don't take the barrel off, you don't take the scope off, you don't take all these pieces off so that you can transport it. You just put it in a case, and you may transfer the clip separately or take the bolt out or something like that, but you're not taking the barrel off. Almost never do you take a barrel off on a 30-06. It's weird. And with a screwdriver? Are you kidding me? That doesn't add up either. We're just covering the basics. You have to have skills. I don't care what anyone says. You can't pick up a gun for the first time and expect to hit the target and walk away not stumbling because you're deaf now. There are people that will continue to fire guns without hearing protection, and they can't hear in one ear. It's more than the other. And there's misfires. There's burnings from not having the right, like there's all kinds of little things that can happen along the way. And you need time to get really good at firing a rifle. We're talking thousands of rounds to get good at a point where you can actually feel comfortable to climb up on a roof and then lie yourself down and take a shot right in the middle of 3,000 people without being worried about whether or not you're going to be spotted on a roof, especially after what happened to Donald Trump. So you're on a roof and you're calm. Your breathing is calm. If you ever watch these Olympians that are trained to cross-country ski and then they go in front of a target, they have to get their heart rate and their breathing down. If your heart rate is jacked because you're worried about getting shot at, you're going to miss the target. Your heart rate affects how well you shoot. Your breathing affects how well you shoot. Lying down. Was it a hot surface? Was there angles involved? All this kind of stuff. Like, he would have to practice at that same area with that same gun firing off shots continuously. And if he did fire off one shot, which is weird because now what if you miss? Now you're stuck. Therefore, I believe he probably had more than one bullet if he was a shooter on the roof. And I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the shooter on the roof at all. It doesn't make any sense. Not from this guy. Maybe some tactical Navy SEAL could make a shot like that. And you might be saying, well, Shane, that's just your opinion. You're not an expert. Okay, well, let's look at some videos of people that actually know what they're doing and what they're talking about. So let me just fire this up real quick here. I found this guy. This guy here, he's describing, this is basically a demonstration of how easy it is to shoot at a target at 200 yards. And this was by Flying Lead Ranch. He did this 2 weeks ago. So what he's saying is, this is a Remington 700 30-06. Does it take an expert to hit a target at 200 yards with the 30-06? And so he would suggest to you that it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. But let's just we'll watch this video. It's only like a minute and a half. But I think we have to observe a few things and listen to what he's saying. And listen to what I'm saying to set this up. 1, he's on a chair. He's comfy cozy. 2, he's got a sandbag to stabilize his gun. He's not just putting it on the table. Why? Because that throws you off. Even a guy that's saying this shot is easy peasy lemon squeezy. I need something to put it on. I need a sandbag, a military grade sandbag, and I need earplugs. He's got earplugs in. He's got glasses in. Glasses on. So you have to consider this. And notice, Exhibit A, Your Honor, that there is no wind here in these trees. No wind. But the target that he's shooting at does have a wind. Meaning you're shooting out of an area that has no wind. I would argue this is probably shot perhaps a different time. Perhaps. Because sometimes I know from experience, if you're outside trying to shoot a video and it's too windy, it interrupts your mic. It interrupts your mic. But strangely, where he was shooting the target, it was so windy because he had a mic there and it's windy. So these are just some observations to pay attention to. And he has a cap as well, probably to help him see a little bit better. Prescription glasses, I'm assuming, all this kind of stuff. So I think these are things that we have to factor when we're getting started out of the gate. So let me just back it up here.
This is a 30-06 bolt action, and I have a target set up at 200 yards. Now, the last time I fired this rifle was about 3 years ago. Roughly had it sighted in at about 100 yards.
Okay. This is another thing we got to address before the court, Your Honor. I'm pretending we're in a courtroom. Hadn't fired this rifle in 3 years. Sighted it in between 75 and 100 yards. That is different than 200 yards, my friend. My friends. This is different. And no person in their right mind will take a gun out that's been stored for 3 years and fire a shell right away. Why? Because I know hunting. I know what my dad used to do. He used to clean his gun. It felt like every day. He was cleaning it every week before he went out hunting and after he went out hunting. Clean it. And he'd always say, like, do not touch this gun. Back then, you used to put it on a rack in the living room. It's like, it's forbidden for you to touch the gun. Why? Because they're dangerous. And people would be known, especially youngsters, to do crazy things with a gun. So I would just never touch the gun. It was forbidden. So this guy's using a gun that he says he hadn't shot in 3 years. Kind of sounded like it was in storage for 3 years. Was it shot at a target practice? Don't know. That's kind of playing around with stuff. I take him at face value that he never shot that particular 30-06 for 3 years. 3 years. Don't know what else he's shooting, but every gun has unique capabilities for shooting. And you also need to, and this is something that my dad would do as well, is he would calibrate his bullets. Like he would weigh the grain and the gunpowder, and then he would measure it and then make his own bullets. He'd make his own bullets. Kind of like paratroopers when you're jumping out of a plane, they usually tell you to pack your own chute. Don't trust someone else that packs your chute for you. Same thing with guns. Like the better you get, you're going to be making your own bullets. And it was cheaper to do it that way. And then you just calibrate it and all that stuff. And then also you go out to the gun range and you sight in your scope. You take a couple of shots. You're like, man, I missed a little bit. It shoots a little bit right. So I'm going to gauge it a little bit left. I want my grouping to be something like this. And that's what you do. So you have to do that before you go to a similar area to shoot at. So if you're going to sight in your gun, you got to be shooting downward at a target somewhere out in the field that kind of represents that same area that Charlie Kirk was in. If not, you're guessing. And with one bullet, that seems highly improbable. Highly improbable. So let's just go back to this guy here and listen to him.
But this is different ammo, and last I remember, it was hitting a little high and to the left. So I'm just going to hold over to the right a little bit.
So the mic that we're hearing right now is out in the field. It's not this shot with him with the rifle. There's no wind. Look at the leaves. They're not moving. And I know what wind sounds with mics. It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling trying to do an interview or trying to talk when wind is blowing. That's what's happening by this target, not where he's at, because he has a Rode mic on his collar and those pick up everything. It's a good mic, but it will pick up wind as well. And there's no wind where he is at. There's wind at the target. Little edit there for some reason. Don't know why there is an edit. This is important because, again, if you're just saying that it's easy to fire off a shot, why did you put an edit in there unless you made a mistake? Unless perhaps you fired off a shot and you missed the target and then you edited it and then now you have it sighted in. Don't know. Let's just have a look and see if there's any difference. This is the easiest way to tell. If it dips down to black and then comes up, did his position change? Let's back it up a little bit here. Basically the same. Don't know why there was a cut there. Who knows why? Maybe a delay, but it looked like his finger position, everything like that was good. So far, so good. Don't know why there was an edit there. Just his bolt action was different. He might have had it locked off or something. Don't know. Looks like another cut, doesn't it? Like 2 edits. I never noticed that before. Yeah, 2 edits there for some reason. Let me just back it up again. Don't know why you have to have 2 edits. Does that mean you took 2 shots? $200 yards. That was like a delay too. I'm not trying to question this guy, but 200 yards. I guess I just thought maybe it would hit quicker. But let's just go again.
And it looks like that actually hit exactly where I was aiming. Kind of thought this ammo was...
So he was aiming to the right, almost off the target. Let's back up again. That's where he said he was aiming. He aimed to the right of the target. Most people aim maybe up and left or a little bit off the target because they know their gun is going to drift one way or the other.
And it looks like that actually hit exactly where I was aiming. Kind of thought this ammo was going to go to the left a little bit, but no, exactly where I was aiming. There's the hit.
Different sound too, isn't it, from that angle? And I think this angle actually has the sound from where he's at versus the other camera mic, which is at the target. And notice how that sounds too. Obviously, we're in a wide open space here, trees, all this stuff. So maybe that's the difference too with the wind. That's a long shot, man.
Hit pretty much exactly where I have the crosshairs. I really expected to get a 3 to 6 inch drop, but I really didn't. Pretty flat shooting round.
Okay. So now that we have that, I want to show you an angle that someone else did that was from a rooftop, because I think that's important. Because, okay, it's one thing to sit on the bench and to fire off a shot. I think it's another one to actually shoot from a roof. I think that's a different feel. So, okay. So now, from this guy's perspective, he's saying why a 200-yard shot is almost impossible. Almost impossible. All right, so let's go here. All right, let's play.
Welcome back to Ballistics Nation. Today we're taking the 200-yard shot. We have a little bit of an interesting video for you, but before we get into that, honestly, I'd love to extend my thoughts and prayers to all of the people who have lost loved ones recently, especially with all of the violence that's been happening. But in today's video, we wanted to take a look at just how difficult it is to hit a shot from 200 yards, especially on a roof.
Okay, I can respect this guy right out of the gate already, because not that I don't respect the other guy, but here we have a scenario of someone on a rooftop, and he's going to explain the different types of shells as well, because that makes a difference depending on how much grain you have in each one of the guns. Notice how he takes care of this gun as well. Again, these guns are expensive, and they have to be handled gingerly. Why? Because if you bump the barrel, that changes everything. You could have a misfire. You can have the gun blow up in your face if your barrel is jammed, especially like there's horror stories of people that are actually walking and they dip the barrel into the ground, and then maybe they're climbing up a hill or whatever it is, and then they go to fire a gun, but the dirt dries in the barrel, and then the barrel blows up, or backfires, or jams, or wrecks your gun. And a true expert that loves hunting, loves the sport of hunting, loves hunting game, will baby a rifle, polishing it, taking care of it, looking at the trigger, making sure everything is working. And this one looks very similar to the one that I had, because I think I can see a place for clips to be added. And notice, you can't take this gun apart. It's not designed to be taken apart, especially with a screwdriver. My goodness. How we fall for that, I'll never know. All right, let's continue.
There's a lot of things that go into play, right? So down there, we have our target set up at about 200 yards, probably closer to 170 maybe. But pretty difficult to hit that shot at about a 4-inch target this far away. Some of the things you have to think about, right, is ammo, right? Different guns shoot different ammo differently. They're made differently. So you've got to know what bullets work best in your rifle. You also have to know the grains, right? So on the back of boxes of bullets, it basically tells you how much it drops off at a certain distance. So you have to calculate that, especially at 200 yards. These bullets are 180 grains. These bullets are 160 grains. So they're going to fly a little bit differently, especially bullets with polymer tips or bullets that are hollow points or have lead in the middle of them. They're all going to fly a little bit different. Not only that, you have to think about, but your scope, right? You've got to have that scope sighted in perfectly ahead of time. We did, I don't know, probably 30, 40 minutes of prep before this to make sure that the rifle is somewhat sighted in. This is a Remington chambered in 30-06. This is what we're going to be using for the test today. It is an older style hunting rifle, so we figured it would be fitting for this test. Just to go over how unlikely this shot is from, somebody without any training. I went on ChatGPT and I put in some of the parameters basically, and it kind of came up with a couple different answers. So basically, a highly trained sniper, competitive shooter, supporting a prone position, has a 90% chance of hitting a kill shot, right? So basically from here up. A casual shooter, so someone maybe who hunts quite often, drops down to almost 20 to 50%. An untrained person, it says it drops into the single digits to hit something at that range. So, here we go.
I think the point is, if you're not trained, you're not going to hit the target. You have to be highly skilled to hit a target like that. Look how far away that is. And again, he's got a little backpack here. He's on an angle. He's got headgear on to protect his ears. And this is something that you'll see with most hunters, most people, is they wear earplugs or headgear, because they don't want to go deaf. They don't.
A couple other things to think about, right? If you're not shooting with a bipod on the front of your gun, you kind of got to hold your neck, at a very uncomfortable angle, which makes the gun horribly unstable. So I'm going to try and use this backpack here.
It's one thing we never considered, and I never thought about that, is actually how low you have to go if you don't have a backpack or anything and you're just using maybe a jacket or something for your elbows so that your elbows don't get sore. You have to lie down flat on the roof, almost below the scope. Let's continue.
With somewhat of a brace, give me a fighting chance at hitting that target. See what we can do.
That's what he would see.
Well, so I definitely missed.
Huh.
Which is kind of the point.
You can almost assume that it's not like you're trying to do it on purpose. I don't think this guy's trying to do it on purpose. I think, if anything, when you're firing off a shot, you're always trying to hit the target. You always try and hit it. And I think this is the important point, is you need one shot to know if you're off target a bit. That's anybody in their right mind. That's what you need to do, is to find out where your gun is drifting, and then you can sight it in, and then you can hit your target consistently, especially if you go to that roof day after day, week after week, year after year. You're going to hit the target at 175 to 200 yards. And even then, it may not be 100%. You might be at 90. You might have a cold. You might have wind, all kinds of stuff, different calibration of bullets. However, this shows how much you need to practice.
I was trying to make. There's so many things that come into factor here. We're gonna shoot a couple more rounds. We're gonna actually see if we can hit that thing. But there's a lot of things that come into play, and you would just have to be a phenomenal marksman to have one shot with a bunch of people around. We're going to go ahead and shoot a couple more rounds downrange, see if we can get lucky and hit the target. There is a lot of scopes on the market, right? Some are for close range, some are for far range, some are red dots, some are for super long range, what have you. So you're going to have to plan out in advance what's a good scope for 200 yards at that distance. You have to know how to make certain adjustments with the windage and the elevation changes, how far to be zoomed in and zoomed out on the scope. So someone to make this shot would really have to know what they were doing. So let's see if we can make this. Try again.
Look at how far away that is. 175 to 200.
A little bit.
Are you kidding me? Like,
But
are
as
we?
you can see with how low the gun was before, my neck was so crammed up.
Yeah. To.
That's why it's important to have a bipod.
Wow. When are you going to take apart the gun? That's
Yeah.
what I want to know. Look at how far that shell. Did you see the shell fly? It's like 4-6 feet, and it's off the
That
roof.
was, I think, a little low. However, this scope is not great, and for hitting something that small at this distance, it's not what it was designed to do. So you'd have to have a actually accurate scope. Let's load it again. We'll shoot one more time, then we'll go kind of see where we hit.
See the shell casing, how far away it flew? You'd have to pay attention to that. Grab your shell and then use your screwdriver and take it apart.
Definitely missed again, unfortunately. But honestly, that kind of goes to show you that with the setup that we did, we shot this gun at 50 yards and then 100 yards, and we were right on, a little bit low. So obviously making those adjustments for this distance, and I still can't even hit that. And I bet when we go look down there, I'm going to be kind of all over the place, right? Because you have to think about this. I had to climb up a ladder to get up here. It's hot. I'm kind of zipping up and down. I'm a little stressed. I've got to film and stuff. So like, all those things you have to think about when you're going to take a shot. So for somebody to be able to hop on a roof in the hot sun and lower their heart rate down, right? Because every time you go to breathe through this scope, right, everything's connected. So basically, when I breathe, the gun is going to move slightly, right? Might not make a difference this close, but extend that movement 100, 200 yards down range, and you're going to be off by, huge margin. So again, you got to know how to control your breath. You got to know what scope to use. You got to know what bullets to use. What gun is the right power? Yeah. Well, I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do from that distance away. A couple things to think about. This is a stationary target. Think about trying to hit a target that's moving around unpredictably. Think about that. Also, you got to think about how I missed off to the right. It's because when I'm shooting, I'm pulling my trigger finger and the gun's jerking to the right. I would have to train for years to be able to hit a shot this precise consistently at 200 yards. Remember to stay safe out there, and God bless.
Wow. So I would suggest, this is kind of a cool Ballistics Nation. That's a great video, great honest video. And I would suggest subscribing to that channel, especially if you like this kind of thing. I think it's important to subscribe to channels like that. So again, just like I mentioned earlier, you have to put in the reps and the time. And I'm not saying that this guy did not put in the reps and the time. He's 22 years old. So right then and there, you've actually compressed time. It's different if we found out this guy was 50. I could buy that a little bit easier, because then you're like, okay, this guy he's well trained. He's practiced. He's been around the block. He knows how to control his breathing, all this. He's put in the time, the reps, all this kind of stuff. That would make a little bit more sense. 22, you're like, okay, when did this guy start shooting? And is there any evidence that we have this kid at a rifle range? And was he any good at it? Did he take any shots? Did he enter any competitions? Or did he just randomly take his father's rifle, climb up on the roof? We still don't even know how he got up on the roof. We know how he got off of the roof. And getting off the roof is a lot easier than it is to get on, because you just jump. You just jump. And all I saw was he had a jacket. That's all I saw. So how would he climb up with a rifle onto this roof? How would he do that? And the idea that nobody saw him is kind of weird as well. I'm not buying the little person walking across the roof or running or whatever. It looks animated from my perspective. It looks like it was just added in. And then somebody going, hey, does that look like a person on a roof? We don't know when that was shot. We don't know. It could have been before, could have been after, don't know. It's just a weird thing to say because I tell you what, if I noticed somebody on the roof, I would grab the authorities right away and say there's a shooter up there right away. You would not be, oh, yeah, just me throwing this out there. I just thought maybe that would be a shooter, especially after the president of the United States got shot from a roof. Like, when I go to an outdoor setting, I am constantly looking on a rooftop. Why? It's just because we've been now conditioned because that's where assassination attempts happen, from a rooftop. So when I walk into a stadium, I'm like, wow, this is kind of wide open. This feels weird. We went to Dodger Stadium. Not that you're thinking about snipers, but you pay attention to how open you are, how exposed you are to the elements. It's strange, right? So I also did a little bit of research on what happens when shell casings fly out, because this is important too, because if you're firing off one shot, again, it just seems weird. I feel like there's more evidence that this guy was closer. Because look at this, typical distance. Let me just show this up. This is on ChatGPT. Let me see if I can find it here. All right. So on ChatGPT, it says spent brass can travel farther than people expect. Here's a short practical breakdown, numbers and why they vary. So a typical distances: bolt action rifle, manual bolt, which is similar to the one that we saw, 0 to 6 feet. If you flick the bolt open or the extractor slaps the case, it usually drops nearby or rolls 1 to 3 feet. A strong angled flick can send it 4 to 6 feet. Semi-automatic can go from 3 to 20 feet. Casings are ejected by the action with more force and can be kicked sideways and rearward, so behind you as well. Several meters in some cases. Typically 5 to 15 feet. Unusual geometry or a strong ejection port can throw cases 20 feet. And don't forget, he's on a rooftop. Lever action and pump rifles, which is the one that I had, and I think that's the one that he was using actually in this video. I believe Tyler was using a lever action. Depending on the ejection geometry, the shooter and how he manipulates the action. So handguns, for comparison, are 1 to 12 feet. That's how far the casings fly. All right, so what else did I have here? Oh, another thing. What was this? Do you get burned? If you do get burned. So I think this is important. Let's see, what did I ask here? What about fingers or burn marks? Okay, hot brass and jam clearing are real. So there was a chance mathematically that this bullet could jam. That's usually what happens on a range, especially if you're brand new. Sometimes you can jam the bullet. And they don't fire properly, whatever it is. Hot cases can burn you, sometimes enough to blister. Don't grab them right away. I've been guilty of that. Sometimes when I fire off a shot, I'm like, oh, that smells good. And you go to pick up the shell and it's like, ow, and you drop it. Why brass can burn your fingers. When a round fires, the cartridge case is blasted by hot gas and contact with the hot chamber barrel that makes the brass very hot enough to cause painful burn in a second or two. How hot? It varies by cartridge, barrel, rate of fire, but think low hundreds Fahrenheit, tens to low hundreds. That's enough to cause immediate pain and possible blistering if you grab it right away. Ejected cases can land against your hands, forearms, or body. I've seen shells go in people's shirts, and they're like, ah, ooh, ah, hot, 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 hot. So it could happen. Typical injuries: first-degree burn, second-degree burns if contact is longer, if you hang on to it. Small cuts, pinches from sharp edges while fumbling. Secondary infection if a blister or cut isn't cleaned. So you're supposed to not grab the ejected brass, and you're supposed to wait a few seconds before retrieving it. Otherwise, you can burn yourself. Use tools, forceps, pliers, extraction tools, gloved hands. Keep hands out of the ejection port. I've also seen people jam their fingers when it comes to the single bolt action. Sometimes they pinch themselves. I've done that. It's crazy, right? Like, so again, we're just doing basic stuff. We're just doing basic. So now what I wanted to do is I want to show you footage. Hopefully I could find it. Footage of a guy that was actually there doing a live stream. And I think this will be interesting as well. So, okay. Let's watch this one. Okay. So this channel is called Life is Driving. So I'm gonna share this. Hopefully you guys can see it. There it is. The channel is called Life is Sharing. So this guy just happened to be filming this event live, and he went around interviewing people before and after the shooting, and we're going to talk about this. But there's some things that jump out at me that's like, this is weird. This is strange behavior from a guy that's documenting this the shooting. What do I mean by strange behavior? No fear for being shot. Zero fear. That's one thing. While everyone else is ducking around him, no fear. And in fact, he actually changes his camera angle after he acts all surprised. He's like, oh, I don't know what happened here. Kind of sounds like a gunshot. Somebody's being shot at. But he would never focus on the stage. He would kind of focus around everywhere else. And then he goes downstairs and goes right to the stage. And this is where we get the footage in the news of these guys taking down the camera to take the SD drive out of the camera. This is from this footage. It's from this footage. And what I find interesting is this is a shorter version of the shooting, and the part where the gunshot goes off, for some reason we can't hear it, and I'm going to share some of my thoughts about it. But I want to play some of this so that we can get to the part where he's actually filming Charlie Kirk being shot. And I want you to pay attention how calm, cool, and collected this guy is. It's weird. It's weird. My spider senses are tingling. All right, let's go to it. Let's play it. So he's basically just setting up. And I'll find shots of him walking around. This is before Charlie Kirk gets shot, of course. What I find interesting as well, and we're going to come to it, is no, I don't see a guy from a distant roof. I see some brush. There's nobody on that roof there. What was I going to say? Oh, listen, and I need you guys to listen to this when he starts talking about his gear. one of the things that he says that jumps out is the people that are looking at him go, "Wow, your camera is hard to see." And he's like, "Yeah, I built it myself." Because sometimes doing a live stream like what I'm doing can cost you $5,000 to $10,000 to do what I'm doing. Excuse me. So he built it himself. And when he's walking around, people can't necessarily see the camera that he has. I don't know if it's just a small GoPro or something on his jacket. Don't know. But now you can kind of be a little bit more stealthy with this setup. You have a microphone and then you also have a camera. So now you can kind of blend in a little bit more, meaning people aren't going to be as shy around you because they don't see the camera necessarily, unless they really look for it. And I think this is important. So he's just walking around the campus. I'm going to fast forward to show a different angle. So there's where Charlie Kirk was going to see the tent just a little bit to the left. That's where Charlie Kirk is going to be set up. So now this guy is going to walk all the way around behind the tent and to our right. You see where the branches are of this tree? He's going to be behind there, just on the top of the stairs. And that's when the shots are going to break out. And then he's going to go down the stairs, go in front of the tent, and he's going to park in front of the tent and show the people that are actually taking the camera down that was directly behind Charlie Kirk and take out the SD card. And people aren't telling this guy to go away, so it's almost like they knew who he was, or maybe he just looked like a reporter. Don't know. They're shooing everyone else away, but not this guy. Let's continue. I think one of the reasons why perhaps security wasn't so tight on the rooftop is because you have to access the roof by certain points, and really all you'd have to do is just monitor the stairwell. You just have to monitor it, and then you don't need people up on the roof because they're hard to get to. It's hard to get up on these roofs. So kind of sounds like this guy is the guy that's cheering. Not sure, just he's really close to the mic. Don't know, but it kind of feels like Charlie Kirk is coming out. Sorry, that tent, I think the tent is actually on the left. That's the real tent. The one on the right is not the tent where Charlie Kirk gets shot at. It's the one that we're seeing on the bottom left-hand corner. But the guy that's filming right now ends up to the right of that bluish, purpley tent. He ends up on the right and then ends up going down the stairs after the gunshots go off. So you can see all the people watching Charlie Kirk from, I guess, a difficult angle, I would say. So Charlie's throwing hats out, I believe, right now.
Let's just go back to the same box.
Damn it. So I don't know if he was having technical issues at the moment, but he's like, damn it. It's like he can't move. So, okay, let's go to a different angle here. I'm just shocked at how many people there are there. Shocked. And everybody's filming almost every angle under the sun. And notice there's a person up there in black. I don't know who that person is, if that's a lady or not, but I think they are campus security, perhaps, because nobody's going directly behind Charlie Kirk, which is interesting. Only to the right. That's as far as these people can go. They can't go past the barrier to go in behind Charlie Kirk, and probably because you can't see anything. Every once in a while, I have to check to make sure that I'm still here. Everything cool. Can you guys hear me all right? Just making sure, because sometimes what happens when you record other people's footage from their channels, sometimes they have copyright and whatever, and it gets taken down. So I just want to make sure that we're still live, that you can see this, because I think it's important to take our time on this and to get a perspective almost like we're there. And I want you guys to pay attention to how the people are acting and reacting after the shots are fired, or after the shot is fired. I think that's important. We're getting a bit of perspective here. So that's Charlie Kirk right there throwing hats. So we're going to, now this guy's going to get a better angle, and he's going to end up on the other side. Like, to me, it sounds like the crowd is excited to see him. Like, you can't help but hear the cheering. Parks there. I think he's adjusting his live stream or checking it out or whatever. That's why he parks the camera. So we'll just fast forward a bit. So now he's on the opposite side where I mentioned. See where that little purple pink tent is? He actually moved all the way across to the other side now to get a different perspective. And again, you don't see anybody on the roof here. If you're going to argue that there was somebody in that little bush, top right-hand or middle right-hand corner, second level, I'm like, yeah, no, that's just a bush. That was just some military guy trying to come up with some kind of a conspiracy or something, but there is nobody there. It doesn't even look remotely close to having anyone there. All right, let's continue here because he interviews some people and I want to see that. All right, so more walking around here. Again, you could see the lady in black, in a black outfit, I think, again, campus security. Right, let's see. Right there. Just to the right, hard to see, but there is a lady there, and she's kind of standing in this area by herself, so nobody's allowed to go directly behind Charlie Kirk. Okay.
Guys, you guys excited?
Okay, we're going to move to where he talks about his camera gear and he starts interviewing these people.
What's up, you guys? You guys excited to see Charlie Kirk?
No.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah. We don't really like that.
This is the camera right here.
Oh. We don't really like people who.
Yeah.
That's a pretty lightweight setup.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I got some. Are you here for the gear in the backpack? Oh, is that your Instagram?
So somebody's talking to him about his gear that he has. This guy was going to talk to him about why he doesn't want it or why he doesn't like Charlie Kirk. So these three guys are not fans of Charlie Kirk. And I find it interesting that out of 3,000 people, you find these three guys almost like they're waiting for you to interview them. That's kind of what it felt like to me. Like they got something prepared to say to this guy once he's ready with his gear. Let's continue here.
I'm just. It's all right here. So this is your. I got a router in the backpack. Well, so you do live streams. Yeah, I'm streaming right now.
Because these three guys are hanging out. They're paying attention to this guy because he's got to interview them. Otherwise, they would just move on. But they're all facing him, pretending they're acting nonchalant. But they're waiting to be interviewed. All three of these guys. All three of them. Otherwise, they would be facing away from this camera guy and he'd have to tap them on the shoulder. Hey, can I interview you guys? None of that. Because look how he approaches them. It's not, I don't think it's edited. Let me see here.
What's up, you guys? You guys excited to see Charlie Kirk?
No.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Is that your camera? We don't really like that.
This is the camera right here.
Oh. We don't really like people who.
Yeah.
That's a pretty lightweight.
Okay, so notice he says we don't really like people who, and he's like, man, just let me know when I'm supposed to say my script. Because the camera guy was distracted by another person going, hey, is that your gear? Oh, cool. Cool gear. Like right away, he's talking to him about his gear. And the guy starts talking to him going, yeah, I made this myself. It's just a weird thing to say. I don't know. It's bizarre. And these guys are waiting for their cue. So remember what he says. He says, I don't like people that.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Is that your camera? We don't really like that.
This is the camera right here.
We don't really like. So hang on to that thought. And we'll come back to continue the interview after he's done talking about his gear. So remember, I believe these guys are waiting to be interviewed.
Oh, we don't really like people who.
Yeah.
That's a pretty lightweight setup.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I got some. Are you here for the gear in the backpack? Oh, is that your Instagram? I'm just. It's all right here. So this is your. I got a router in the backpack. Well, so you do live streams. Yeah, I'm streaming right now.
That's the camera.
That's the camera. Yeah. With the heat.
That's your recorder.
This is the audio capture.
Look how tiny that is. Wow.
It's my own DIY streaming setup. So those professional ones
Can I get a
cost like
picture of that
$5,000.
microphone?
Yeah.
I just don't remember what that is.
I've seen small ones, but I haven't seen that small.
This is the mic right here.
So again, they're waiting to be interviewed. I wouldn't even be surprised if the guy on the right has been memorizing his script, going over it in his head, scrolling, going, okay, what am I supposed to say when he asks me this? Okay, got it. Because they're waiting for him to interview them. And remember, curly-haired guy on the left said, we really don't like people who he didn't get a chance to finish his script.
This is the receiver for this.
Yeah. It's how far will that transmit? Really?
And usually when you look up, like notice the guy on the right, not that I study people that lie and stuff, but I study people that lie. Watch him look up after he's looking at his text, probably a script that he's memorizing. If you are wanting to put something to memory, you will look straight ahead and up. You'll look up, you'll be like, okay, I got this. Yeah. Like when you're thinking about something that you're memorizing, you go like this. And then if you're lying about something, you'll look to the left or to the right, depending if you're left or right-handed. And if you're listening for audio cues, maybe somebody said something and you're changing it to mean something else, you'll be like, yeah, I heard my mom say this, but actually I'm going to change it to say that. And then you look down for different memories up to the right for a memory that you're perhaps building, all this, depending where your eyes are going. This guy on the right looks directly up because he's like, okay, I can't screw this up. I'm memorizing the script. And when he asks me when it's my turn, I got to deliver the script. All right, here we go. Watch it again. Watch his eyes go straight up after he's reading the text.
Streaming setup. Those professional ones
Can I get a
cost like
picture of that
$5,000.
microphone?
Yeah.
I just don't remember what that is. I've seen small ones, but I haven't seen that small.
This is the mic right here. This is the receiver for this.
Yeah. It's how far will that transmit?
There.
Really?
That's a memory. He's trying to remember his script.
Can you put that up next to that?
Yeah.
Just so I can.
Yep.
Hold that picture. That's really tiny.
Yeah, I like it.
Where's your windscreen?
It's in my backpack. I gotta get it out.
So that's your monitor, and is this what your recorder is the SD in there or SD in here?
Okay, so let's fast forward because now we cue in the guys that are swearing. Pardon our French for this, but there are a group of people walking by almost being cued to start swearing because now this guy's going to interview these people after these group of people walk by swearing against Charlie's name. And remember, we're just a few minutes away from Charlie being shot. So it's interesting that this guy interviews these people and finishes his interview. And then we see Charlie Kirk get shot. I'm telling you, this guy is suspicious that's doing a live stream here.
Also like keyboards and mouses, I think they bought these guys. Evo camera.
So it's a bigger version of that with 5 4/3 lenses.
Yes. Yeah. I love that one. I don't want to bring it here.
Yeah. You do interviews? Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Interviews definitely get. Are they mostly? These
guys are here.
Well, they're carrying the Palestine side.
Correct. Yeah.
They're anti-everything.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, have a
Hey, thanks, man.
Fuck you, Charlie! Fuck you, Charlie!
There you go. If you wanted to know about my setup, that guy asked all the right questions.
Weird. That's a weird thing to say. Hey, if you want to know my setup, that guy just happened to ask me all the right questions. And this girl is telling Fatboy Slim to move out of the way because this guy's doing a live streaming of Charlie Kirk going to be assassinated. So he's like, hey, you got to get out of the way.
Fuck you, Charlie! Fuck you, Charlie!
There you go. If you wanted to know about my setup, that guy asked all the right questions. What's going on, man? So, hey, why don't you guys like Charlie Kirk?
I think that I don't like his views on genocide and how he's supporting I don't like the murder of children dying in.
So he comes back to these three guys again. Notice that? 4 guys. Comes back to 4 of them. Why would you come back to these guys? Like, this is not random. This is planned. He had this planned out to interview these guys. I don't know if these are his buddies or whatever, but it's planned.
In America, I don't approve that he's condoning someone who's pushing the U.S.
to become more authoritarian and is violating the Constitution every which way. He confused a dolphin fetus with a human fetus.
Charlie Kirk did?
He did.
Say that again?
He confused a dolphin fetus with a human fetus.
Yeah, I'm like when was this?
He was asked, is this a baby? And showed a picture of a dolphin.
So his friend, this is so silly. Remember the guy that asked him all the right questions about his gear? He's doing the interview. Who is this guy looking at? He's not looking at Camera Boy that has the secret camera or the tiny camera. He's talking to the guy that's interviewing the three guys. And he just finished asking him all the right questions about his gear. I think the guy is perhaps just bragging about how good his gear is. It's normally costs $5,000. That's what Interview Boy said to him. And these guys are looking at the guy that was asking him all the right. There it is. Boy, this guy just asked me the right questions at the right time. Yeah, that's because he's your pal and he's interviewing these three guys, which you guys have planned. You have it all laid out exactly what you're going to say seconds before Charlie Kirk is killed.
He said, without a doubt. And the guy got him.
Boo Charlie Kirk. So,
When do you think?
for that reason, I think we should enforce people to do the same.
And you can hear people in the back saying, hey, could you guys maybe boo Charlie Kirk for us? Because we need some ambience in the background. We need more. Because it was time perfect that they cued the people to come in and say, F you, Charlie. F you, Charlie. It's all around this interview.
Choice to make the choice.
Gotcha. What about you?
I agree with both of what they have said, and I think that
Both. He's the only one that spoke so far.
believing that life starts at conception is.
He's getting his script mixed up now.
I mean, can you look at that and define that is a life? I feel like you could say that then life starts before when it's conceived in your head. Like, is life? I don't know. You can vary the.
I'm not.
Now he's looking at his friends like, am I on script? Did I memorize the script right? Because I'm all mixed up now. I should have spent more time memorizing the script.
Like, I don't want other people.
What if we said like when vocal cords were developed in the fetus, that if it was old enough that if it were taken out of the womb, it'd be screaming? Would that
like put pressure on other people?
There's a cut. I'm going to show you the raw footage as well, but there was a problem with the raw footage. Their lips got out of sync for some reason about the time of the interview. Moving forward, it got out of sync, like his live. So he had to resubmit this video and cut it down to 27 minutes for some reason. And the live, though, got out of sync, the lips and all this kind of stuff. So we'll watch that afterwards.
They can like have their own opinions, and I'm not going to force.
I mean, just for like biology reasons, for like we're at UVU here. So like, when would you consider that life begins?
I mean, we could argue semantics all day.
I'm just curious what your
Yeah, we
opinion
could say,
is.
what do you say a
You guys said
genocide
you
is?
disagree
You
with
could say
Charlie,
that.
so I was wondering what your side was.
My opinion is people should just have the freedom to do their own thing, especially when we don't have a defined thing. Because if you make rules without a thing that is that's the whole point we're trying to make.
Fair enough. Can you hold up your signs, guys?
Yes, sir.
So they just happen to have signs made up. Don't legalize. He's actually telling them, okay, now's the time to hold up your signs. I don't know why this guy is pointing to his, I guess that would be to his left. He's pointing. I don't know why he's pointing. People do crazy things, but he's pointing us to the left. And there's Free Palestine, and there's Don't Legalize Racism.
Don't legalize racism. What's that mean?
It's based on the recent Supreme Court decision to allow people to be deported purely based on skin color, or even like a slight suspicion based on like speaking Spanish.
The Supreme Court said they could deport people based off their skin color?
The Supreme Court said that this is grounds for like Yeah, it's reasonable suspicion, which means they can be detained.
What was grounds for it? Color of the skin?
Color of the skin, speaking Spanish or speaking with
The accent.
I haven't heard this, so I'll have to look that up.
Haven't heard this. Again, probably lying because they've all scripted this out. He's asking them, so what's an example? And he tells them the example, and they're like, yeah, that's right. We're now back on script.
Like it was literally 2 days ago.
Yeah, just 2 days ago.
Okay. What's your sign say?
My sign says "Free Palestine, love one another." It's referencing the Bible. It's referencing Jesus' teachings. I'm a Christian. I don't know much about Christianity.
I'm a Christian, but I don't know much about Christianity. That's such a weird thing to say.
Struggle with it a lot, but recently I feel like there's been not enough love in the world. I feel like there's been so much hate. Even here, all of these people out there, I might disagree with most of them, but I still love them for who they are, and I respect a lot of the opinions they have. And that's what that's referencing.
And it's like love one another isn't just a Christian concept. That's a human concept.
That's a human
We
concept.
should like be accepting, and we should love other people.
I'm very atheist. I believe in that.
What?
I'm very atheist. I believe it gets ugly.
Okay. I see you got the rainbow pin on there.
Yep.
What's that mean?
Gay pride.
Gay pride.
I support LGBTQ plus.
Okay. Would you guys go support gay?
So this guy's thoroughly interviewing these guys, probably friends of his, thoroughly like, hey, let's talk about the gay pride thing. Let's get everything in here before Charlie Kirk's shooting.
Pride in Palestine?
So yes, in Palestine, a lot of people will.
Would that be something you guys?
I do it here because I live here. You know.
Okay. All right.
A lot of people bring up the argument that in Palestine it's not legal to be gay. It is not legal. Like people love to.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot too. And I just believe that they still should not be mass murdered. Their children shouldn't be killed at the age of 0.
We also don't condone Hamas either. We don't think that's all right.
We're not supporting terrorism.
Say that one more time, real quick.
We also don't condone.
Yeah, it's like they got to get everything in their script before the guy moves on to Charlie Kirk being shot.
Hamas. We think that people have a right to live.
And that's kind of back to like the love one another thing. It's like love everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race. Everybody.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you
You're gonna
too.
go down and see the.
Okay, so the interview is wrapped. So guess how many minutes that Charlie Kirk gets shot, or how many seconds after this interview?
Like the love one another thing. It's like love everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race. Everybody.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you
You're gonna
too.
go down and see the. Get closer. Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just there's just so much. So
Before we had a flag and we had.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Notice in this one, we don't really hear the gunshot, so we'll go to the other footage that is actually his actual live footage. This has been cut down for time. His live is like over an hour. We'll go to that, but it's interesting that he's not moving right now. Everyone else is running.
You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe. Hey, be safe. Apparently there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot.
Clearly, there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot.
We are here live at Utah Valley State University. I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks, to be honest. But
It's weird that these people keep saying this narrative. It's so bizarre. I don't know if that was fireworks. I don't know who's being shot. I don't know what's going on. And he shows himself for a bit and then back, and he's not even panicked that he could be shot at. That's the crazy part here. That's the crazy part. And you want a representation of an assassination attempt. It's almost like they had to document this thing. They had to document it and then show it to their leaders, whoever they are. It's bizarro world to me that this guy is not panicked. Not even. And the reason why I say that is he actually goes right to the tent.
Okay, love you. Be safe. Okay, be safe. Bye. Apparently, there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University. I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks, to be honest, but. How are you doing, sir? Good, how are you doing?
Were you able to see anything that happened?
I was standing right here interviewing people. Hang on. Charlie Kirk got shot. Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck. This is unconfirmed. This is from my son who was down there right in front of Charlie Kirk. We're going to go down there and see if we neck.
So his son just confirmed that he was shot in the neck right away. Now he's got somebody on the phone with him saying, yep, this is what happened. So now we're going to go down.
I don't know the accuracy of that.
What, your son's a liar now? He's in front? Your son just said, you just happened to have your son on the phone, and he said, yeah, he's been shot in the throat. Now you're saying, I don't know about the accuracy of that. Just pretend. And the most logical thing you're going to do when you're doing a live stream is go right to the scene of the crime.
You guys okay? Abby, are you inside or outside? My son just said that on the phone. That means he just got shot. Hey!
So everybody is told to clear the zone, and I think this is important. Everybody's told to clear it except for this guy right away.
I'm getting out of here.
Stay close. You guys up this way. Let's go that way. Hey! Move that way! Go, guys. Move that way. Go! Go, guys. Go!
So everybody gets cleared but this guy.
Should we cordon off this stuff?
Does anybody ask the question why this guy didn't get cleared out? Why he's allowed to stay there and the police and the security are just going by him? Is it perhaps because they know who this guy is? Notice the two guys on the right-hand side. They are going to be removing camera footage. And this is what we see in the news, this angle. If we didn't have this guy covering it, we would have never seen the footage of these guys taking the camera, because this is the only footage that we have in this position at this tent where these guys are taking the SD cards out of the camera. And this guy's security, I guess, like he's got a handgun in his hand and he's walking around covering the hand because he doesn't want people to see, I guess, that he has a gun in his hand, but he has a gun in his hand. And I think this is probably part of the campus security detail, I guess. But clearly he has a gun in front of him. And notice there's another camera just to Charlie's left. I'd be curious to see that footage right there because it's pointed directly at Charlie. And for some reason, we don't, any footage that we see is always kind of blurred. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird to me. All right, let's continue.
safety team is here. I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
And as soon as the guy starts fiddling with the camera, dopey guy here pans his camera away and then comes back. It's kind of weird. I don't like, look how close he is. He's so comfortable in this environment, and everyone else is getting shunned away, but not him.
My son just messaged me.
Get him out. Hey, go right now. Get out of here.
Okay, this footage is not the greatest. Let me find better footage. It keeps pausing. But if that doesn't look suspicious, I don't know what does. I don't know. Really? Like, it's crazy, man. All right, let's back up a little bit here. Let's find this other footage, because I think the other footage, the lips are out of sync, but I think it's better coverage. You're not going to get hiccups. Okay. So we're going to get, their lips are out of sync now, but we'll get better coverage, and you'll hear the gunshot here, and you'll see people running and all that. And I want to get to the interview that he did with a guy that was trying to describe in a red shirt what he saw, and then everybody just engulfed him and wouldn't let him speak. This is the guy that actually filmed this. All right, so let's just hit play here. Excuse me.
There's a genocide.
What's that referencing? To love one another.
The love one another is referencing the Bible. It's referencing Jesus' teachings. I'm a Christian. I don't know much about Christianity. I've struggled with it a lot, but recently I feel like there's been not enough love in the world. I feel like there's been so much hate. Even here, all of these people out there, I might disagree with most of them, but I still love them for who they are, and I respect a lot of the opinions they have. And that's what that's referencing.
And it's like love one another isn't just a Christian concept. That's a human concept.
That's a human
concept. We should be accepting, and we should love other people.
I'm very atheist. I believe in that. I'm very atheist. I believe in that.
What's interesting too is this guy has some kind of cue cards or something on the right side of this sign, and maybe that's a little bit of his script too. Don't know.
Wholeheartedly. Okay. Society doesn't work without us loving each other and getting along. Otherwise, there's just disputes and conflicts, and it gets ugly.
Okay. So you got the rainbow pin on there?
Yep.
What's that mean?
Gay pride.
Gay pride.
I support LGBTQ+.
Okay. Would you guys go support gay pride in Palestine?
So yes, in Palestine, a lot of people will.
Would that be something you guys are willing to do in person?
I feel like no, I'd get bombed. I'd get killed.
Yeah, I don't live in Palestine also. So. Okay. I do it here because I live here, you know?
Okay. All right.
A lot of people bring up the argument that in Palestine, it's not legal to be gay. It is not legal. Like, people love to.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot too. And I just believe that they still should not be mass murdered. Their children shouldn't be killed at the age of 0.
We also don't condone Hamas either. We don't think that's all right.
We're not supporting terror.
Say that one more time real quick.
We also don't condone Hamas. We think the genocide's wrong on both sides. We're just saying that
we're not advocating
Israel is the one that's doing the most.
We're pro-Jewish people and pro-Palestinian people.
We just think people should live and people have a right to live.
And that's kind of back to like the love one another thing. It's like love everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you
gonna
too.
go down and see get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it's positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camp.
What was that? He just got shot! Holy shit! Holy shit! There's been a shooting. There's been a shooting. We heard shots. You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe. Hey, be safe. Bye. Apparently there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University. There's been a shooting at the Charlie Kirk event, the TPUSA event. There has been a shooting. Everybody's evacuating. I don't know if that was shots or...
So here's a thing that I just discovered. Do you guys remember... do you remember a dopey guy that where his pants fell off and then he gets up and he's waving his hat right away for people to come and arrest him, and he's saying, yes, yes, okay? Well, he's not arrested here. He's waving his hat, but nobody's coming to him. Is he waving at this guy that's filming right now? So look down by Charlie's tent and you'll see the old guy with the hat waving at him, and nobody's arresting him. So who's he waving to with his hat? This is important because people are talking about, and his name is something Zim. And he's been at other events and all this stuff. But watch, and I never caught this until now. I just happened to be looking at the tent and I see this guy waving the hat, and that's him. Let's have a look at it. This is a first. And I'm going to pause it and then I'm going to back it up once we see him.
There's been a shooting. There's been a shooting. We heard shots. We heard shots. You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe. Hey, be safe. Bye. Apparently there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University. There's been a shooting at the Charlie Kirk event, the TPUSA event. There has been a shooting. Everybody's evacuating.
There he is, right there. That guy right there. See where my little cursor is going? In front of Charlie Kirk's tent. There's three people. One person by the fence on the right there. And then in the middle is a guy waving his hat, blue shirt. I think that's that Charlie Zim guy. And then on the left is somebody that's just standing there watching him. So nobody's arresting him. And watch him wave his white hat. See? He's waving it at this guy with the camera. He's waving probably like, okay, it's okay for you to come down now. Charlie Kirk has been moved. So this guy's waving the hat at this camera guy. That tells you it's planned. So I'm going to back up. Pay attention to that guy. I'm going to back up just a hair. Again, this is a first. I don't think anybody's uncovered this.
We are here live at Utah Valley State University. There's been a shooting at the Charlie Kirk event, the TPUSA event. There has been a shooting. Everybody's evacuating.
Waving his hat.
I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks, to be honest, but...
So he's basically got the go-ahead to come down now.
Good, how are you doing?
Were you able to see anything that happened?
I was standing right here interviewing people. Hang on. Charlie Kirk got shot? Holy shit. Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck is what my kid is saying.
Your kid's saying Charlie?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. My son is down there. He says that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck. This is unconfirmed.
Notice he never does connect with his son. His son is down there in the front. This dad doesn't say, I'm coming. Come up here. Tell me what you saw. Or I'm coming to you. Wait there. Zero. All we get is a guy waving his hat at him, as in to say, you can come down now.
This is for my son who was down there right in front of Charlie Kirk. We're going to go down there and see if we can get any more info.
See, guy waves hat at him, camera guy, and then now he's allowed to come down. He can come down there.
Oh, my son just said Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck. I don't know the accuracy of that.
It's almost like he's starting it, saying, hey, my son said this. He got shot in the neck. He got shot.
You guys okay? No. Stay. Abby, are you inside or outside? My son just said that on the phone.
That means it's over there. It sounded like to me like it came from up there.
You sound like a sharpshooter? Dude, he just got shot.
He's not even interested in interviewing those guys that are saying, yeah, he got shot. And they're like gonna be those guys probably have it on their phone. This guy's not interested in that. He's going right to the tent.
Hey, what happened? You know? You don't know. Stay down.
I'm just having a quick scan, trying to find the guy at the white hat. Where is he? Can't see him right here.
Clear out.
Someone here.
We have multiple eyewitnesses saying that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck, and that they saw blood spray.
Where are you? Okay, calm down.
So the cops are clearing away people, but not this guy for some strange reason.
I'm getting out of here.
Stay close. You guys up this way. Let's go that way.
Like he's literally walking behind the police officers that are sending people away, except for this guy. He's allowed to go right up to the tent.
Hey, move that way. Go, guys, move that way. Go.
I have no idea why that police officer blew on the mic to test it to see if the mic was on. Did you see that? The officer picked up the mic, blew in it, go to see if it's on, and then he put it down. Don't know why. Kind of a weird thing to do.
I'm getting out of here.
Stay close. You guys up this way. Let's go that way. Hey, move that way. Go, guys, move that way. Go. Definitely not fireworks.
These are the guys that are wondering when they should take the camera footage.
Should we cordon off this
They're not even worried about blood, which is kind of bizarre to me. These guys aren't even concerned that I'm stepping in someone's blood. Remember, he got shot in the throat and there was a lot of blood. That's what people say. These guys, apparently, it doesn't matter to them. And they're stepping right in it. If there is blood there on the floor, there's no problem whatsoever with them interfering with the whole investigation. Another officer that walks by this guy, not a problem. You are allowed to go. We'll clear everybody else, but not you. And then he parks right by the barricade, behind the barricades, and still, I don't see any blood here at all. That was the platform that Charlie Kirk was sitting on. Chair's not there anymore. Here comes dopey guy with his gun, hiding it.
Safety team is here. I just heard them.
So then they pull up the chair that Charlie Kirk got shot on. No problem to use the chair that he got shot on, pick it up, and now we're going to remove the footage.
Say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
Sounded like he was going to say, sounded like the FBI just said. But he said security. Again, no panic. Nobody's trying to get this camera guy out of there. They're just allowing him to stay. And because this guy's camera is kind of somewhat hidden, I don't think these guys realize that they're being filmed right now. I honestly don't think they're aware that there's a camera guy there filming them tampering with the investigation.
My son just messaged me and says that Charlie Kirk.
You need to leave.
Yes, sir.
Now, quick.
Get him out. Hey, you go right now. Get out of here.
Now he's told to leave after I don't know how long there. Notice he was right there, almost behind that barricade or right close to it, and now they're cleared everybody out. But this guy can still sit. This little, I think this is another videographer. He has a tripod and all this kind of stuff. He's allowed to stay because he's not a threat, I guess, or he's on the inside, don't know, but they're not asking him to move. So 99% of the people are moved out of this area.
Hey, he's out. He's out. He made it out. He's fine. He's out. He made it out. He's fine. He's looking for you. He's looking for you. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on a second. Where are you located? Where are you? South side. Okay. Call me in. Sorry, you all right? I'm going to hang up and call you. There's a door here, but I don't think it'll let me in.
Okay, I'm going to go to the interview where this guy said he saw. Now, again, remember the lips are out of sync, so just pay attention to what the guy's saying that he saw.
You guys see what happened? Yeah, kind of. Are you willing to talk about it on camera? Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. Kind of shocked.
Definitely shocking. We're here at the Charlie Kirk Turning Point USA event. What can you tell me briefly what happened in your eyes?
Well, my name's Eric. I was standing about the third level back, so probably 50 feet from Charlie. I heard a shot, which took my attention away from Charlie. And when I looked back at him after the echoes, there was blood protruding from his neck or his head, about 6 inches or more, literally gushing out. Neck or head, I'm not quite sure, because his head was tilted back. I don't think he's going to survive this shot, if you want my opinion.
Unbelievable.
I think he got hit in a very vital spot.
Did it seem like it was an up-close shooter or at long range? Any idea?
I don't know. It sounded like a higher caliber. It sounded like a higher caliber, like a 9mm. It didn't sound like a 45 or anything, but I don't know. It didn't sound that deep to me.
That's interesting, because that's not what a 30-06 sounds like. A 30-06 sounds deep, and again, you'll go deaf if you don't have head protection, and people will know when a 30-06 is being fired. You know.
It almost sounded like a cherry bomb.
Unbelievable.
And this is why people are thinking that perhaps the mic that he had on his chest exploded. Maybe a fragment or something like that. I don't know. It's interesting that this guy thought it was like a cherry bomb. Smaller type of firework, bomb, that kind of thing, versus a high-powered rifle.
Wow. Wow. I'm in shock.
I am too. I can't believe it happened in Utah, of all places.
Of all places.
Where he has so much support, but obviously the opposition was here. And now we're looking at a murder scene, possibly. It's obviously a crime scene. But I don't think that Charlie can survive this unless the EMTs were close.
Interesting that he said that I don't think Charlie Kirk can survive this unless the EMTs are close, and I don't know where they were. It's weird that they took Charlie Kirk away in a vehicle, in an SUV, and drove him to the farthest hospital away from this campus. They even drove by an ambulance racing to the scene. And they asked, should we stop? And they're like, no, go, keep going. They took him to the hospital. And this is a crime scene, but they're not treating it like a crime scene. Not one officer there, just security. That's it. Where's all the police? It's weird. Nobody's saying, nobody touch anything. And these guys are taking the cameras apart. It's weird.
And it was pretty, rated R level kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No
Appreciate
problem.
your testimony.
You bet.
Okay, I want to go to the other interview where, let's see, this is interesting here. So he goes to some young kids.
You guys see what happened?
Not really. We kind of heard what happened, but we heard it was real. We were probably maybe 20 feet away.
You guys here to hear Charlie speak, or?
Yeah, we were.
Well, prayers to him.
What a coincidence that he was talking about gun violence, and then all of a sudden this happens. Like, what the hell?
Somebody else told me over there.
Like, come on, bro. Like, it's like, what are the chances of this shit happening to here, bro? Like, it's scary. Like,
it's terrifying.
It freaks everyone out. Like, it just ruins the whole experience for everyone. Like, I don't know. Like, come on, bro. Now they got this whole place on lockdown. But scary stuff. Scary stuff. I'm glad no one else got hurt. Pray for Charlie.
Yeah, pray for Charlie. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so now we want to see the other interview where he talks to a guy and they actually mob him and prevent him from telling us what actually happened. Tell me if this isn't suspicious at all.
You're good.
See what happened? Did you guys see what happened?
I saw him. Are you recording this?
Yes, you're live right now. Well, we're recording. I don't know if we're live because of the cell service.
So
hang on.
I was standing in probably the third. Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off. Get off me! Get off me!
Emotions are running high right now.
That isn't suspicious at all. We can't find this guy, this kid that is like, get off me. We can't interview him and see what's going on. So I'm going to play it again and back it up. It's weird. They tackle the guy. They tackle him.
See what happened? Did you guys see what happened?
I saw him. Are you recording this?
Yes, you're live right now. Well, we're recording. I don't know if we're live because of the cell service.
So
hang on.
I was standing in probably the third. Okay. I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off. Get off me! Get off me!
Emotions are running high right now.
Get off me!
This guy.
And the guy didn't even stay around to see why they were shoving him. He doesn't mention anything. He just moves on. It's weird. Like, I don't think that kid was paid. I think he was truly freaked out and wanted to say something, and they muzzled him right away. And this guy that's recording doesn't faze him one bit. Doesn't even faze him on to the next thing.
It says a man died today. This is unconfirmed. That's what this eyewitness testimony just said. Everybody's in shock, including myself. Where's your mama? Oh.
Like, they are clearly arguing. Clearly arguing. I'd like to know who the red shirts are. I think that was pretty much the last interview. He goes outside. He goes all over the place. Like, he goes for another, if you can believe it, he goes for another hour and 5 minutes after this and goes all over the place. All right, so what did we learn here? What did we learn? It's just, I think after a while, you learn not to trust people. Like, this guy was calm, cool, and collected the whole time. And it's right after he interviews these three guys about Palestine and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, right after he's done, that's the only interview that he does with these three guys before the shooting. Positions himself at just the right place, right time, interviews them, and then thank you. Are you guys going to go down? And then the shot fires off, and he's the only guy that doesn't panic. All the other people run. It's bizarre, man. I'm telling you, it's bizarro world. And he's continues to go on, and he goes right to the tent. If we didn't have that footage, we would never know that these guys were taking the SD cards out of these cameras. We would never know. It's just, I don't know. I think Candace Owens is onto something, and I think you need to continue to watch her show, watch her lives, because she's hitting a nerve, and people are like, at first, they were saying crazy, 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 and then Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly are like, she's not wrong. She's onto something here. Somebody murdered Charlie Kirk in broad daylight in front of people, and they're hiding it. And now he's buried, and that's a mystery. They don't know what's going on. Like, I'm telling you, this rabbit hole goes very, very deep, and we've only scratched the surface. We've only scratched the surface, and I'm not into blaming groups of people, but you have to dig into this, and we have to keep talking about it, because too many people just want to push this under the carpet and say there's nothing to see here, folks. There's nothing to see here. This is not mysterious. This is straight up. This is normal activity. This is how normal people behave. And I'm telling you, there's more than one person involved. I just showed you footage at the very beginning. If you're just watching this at the end, I showed footage of how hard it is to take a shot at 200 yards at a rooftop. It's very difficult with 30-06. And then you get eyewitnesses saying it sounded like almost like a pistol or a cherry bomb. And it's like, I know what a rifle sounds like. Me, personally, I know. And I would not mistake that for a firecracker. It's not what firecrackers sound like. So I think there's more to this. I'll probably continue to talk about it next week or so. Next week, I'm going to Phoenix to hang out with my grandson. So I plan on doing a live stream sometime from Phoenix. Be interesting to get some stories there as well. So yeah, this is a little bit closer to home because again, I have family in Phoenix. So it's interesting to I'd be interested to hear what they have to say about what was going on and all the kind of inside scoop on stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have, make sure and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with others, comment, like. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. I know YouTube was going to try and push this video down. YouTube has been notorious for unsubscribing subscribers, so that's why I always tell people, my mom has been unsubscribed 3 times, and I don't think my mom did it. And I have friends that have been unsubscribed from my channel, and they're like, that's weird. I got to keep resubscribing to your channel. Yeah, it's because YouTube is trying to squash my channel. They're trying to squash it. And the only way to counteract that is if you guys comment, you share the video with others, and then that will actually override YouTube's algorithm, because then it'll be shown to more people. And then their bots go away, and then you can continue to get more subscribers. But they knock off probably, I don't know, I'd say probably 5 to 10 subscribers a day, whether or not I'm making a video or not. YouTube is constantly knocking them down, and then 10 more people would come in, 10 new people, and they get rid of some of the old ones, and then more people come on, especially during a live stream. And then all of a sudden they start squashing it. And it's like, really? Really, YouTube? That's what you're doing now? That's the game you're playing? it's weird because, again, 3 years ago, when my channel was under 1,000, I had one video that was 50,000 views, and I was talking about Klaus Schwab. Once I start talking about him, my channel got hammered. Can never get a video. Even if I did the same video the next day, talked about the same content, it would never get the same views. And that was when I was under 1,000. So I had a bunch of videos that were like starting to climb. And as soon as I started diving into Zelensky, diving into Klaus Schwab and all this kind of stuff, all of a sudden my channel got squashed. And the only way to overcome that is if you guys comment and share the video with others and continue to subscribe. Just check in randomly and just go, I wonder if I'm still subscribed to Black Swan. You might be shocked because YouTube just will unsubscribe people. It's weird. It's a nasty game out there, folks, but it's important to get the truth out. It's important to get the truth out there, and we're getting closer and closer to the truth. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. I think Candace Owens is going live today in about 4 hours or something like that at 3 o'clock, I think, Mountain Standard Time. You want to check it because I'm telling you, sometimes I get concerned for that lady because if you go down this deep rabbit hole, I think you could be in danger, especially if you're a heavy social media influencer like her. I worry about Tucker Carlson. I worry about Megyn Kelly. And I worry about Candace Owens. You take those three voices out, America doesn't have a chance, honestly. Doesn't have a chance. Anyways, thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate you. And I will see you in another video. Bye for now.
Black Swan Revelations here on YouTube brought you today's mind-bending journey. Dive into the discussion, your comments, questions, prayer requests, and powerful testimonies of Jesus' love are what fuel this community. Did today's episode hit home? Smash that like button. New here? Subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss a live stream or a video upload. Thanks for being part of today's adventure. Catch you in the next video, or maybe even in the clouds. Stay curious, stay blessed.